Welcome back to this next episode of Squirrel Garage. I'm Cody. This is the Red M3 Vivian. And as you can see, as I showed you in the last video, we have our quarter windows out. Took these out to replace them with the Condor Racing polycarbonate rear windows with the NACA depth. And I did that at the same time. I didn't plan on doing those right now, but we were putting in the rear seat delete from MK Motorsports, and to get to all this, we had to pull the, to do the rear seat delete, we had to pull the cage apart, and while we had the cage apart, it allowed me to get to all the items on the A-pillar here, so that I could undo all the bolts to get the window out. So we just decided to go ahead and do it at the same time. It's 2 bolts, literally comes off, one back here, and the window just comes out. But we also ordered, as you saw in the last video, new window trim here for the window. This is all beat up and chipped and cracked and everything. And we will address this, taking this off, getting all the old glue off, because there's so much like 3M, OEM glue crap. Clean this whole thing up here, we're going to have to loosen all this stuff, get that back on, get this window installed, and also do the rear window spoiler here. But we're going to finish up the rear seat delete, which I've been waiting to do for a while. But I had to put the cage back in so that I could get these cut to the right shape. So what we're going to do here is slide this in, and you guys can't really see, but I'll move the camera over here in a little bit when we get started. Gonna mock this up in the area that it needs to go, where it's flat, and then we're gonna notch the little quarter panel here for the roll cage, and tape it up with blue tape, cut it, and install it. So it's in and done. Then the rear seat delete is 100% done. So, let's get to fitting those. So guys, as you can see, we have our delete panel here, and what we're going to do is lay it flat along the rear seat delete here, and we have the roll cage where it's going to be, and we want this panel to sit as flush as possible on both ends. So what we're going to do is slide it over. We have this flat there. Back here. I'm trying to see where this... Oh, this panel there. So this is going to sit flat there. That's going to sit flat on the bottom. So where this lays, we're going to mark where the roll cage is. And then what we're going to do is, theoretically, it's going to be cut like this, here, straight across, and then make a loop-de-loop here. But we're going to measure from this panel to the outside of this, here, and that will give us our depth of how big we need to make that cut. And so, let's measure that and get that cut. Okay guys, well, we have our piece, and we have it marked out, as you can see. We have it marked out. We have the jigsaw, and we are going to go ahead and trim this out, test fit it, see how it works. Most likely what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it a little bit bigger than the actual hole, and I'm going to put a little bit of tubing around it so that it gets it a nice, nice finished look to it when we're done here. So let's get this cut out and go from there. So, as you can see, we got a nice cutout, and let's go test fit real quick and see if it works. Well, we test fitted that one, and that one fit perfectly, so we're going to go ahead and cut this one real quick. So they're both matching, and then I will show you what they look like before we drill and tap them, so we can put our hardware on. But let's go ahead and cut this one, and what I'm using is just the regular Black & Decker jigsaw with a metal blade on it. Cuts this metal really easily, so it makes perfect nice cuts. So as you can see, it's a super nice fit here, and over here roll cage literally just dives right in, and it's perfect. Once I get this all attached, that covers everything up and matches. So the rear of this is gonna look super clean and super finished. It's gonna be amazing. So let's get that installed real quick so that we can jump back onto these windows and get these suckers in, because once these are in, then and this trim piece too, that's what we got to replace also. Do all that at the same time. Once that's in, then the exterior of the car is done. Oh no it's not. I lie to you guys. Not done. We got to do the front lip, ACS front lip, and the rear roof spoiler. So we'll also do that today as well. So besides being dirty, the rear seat delete is complete finally. We've had the bottom complete, the sides, all the sides, everything, except for these little pieces. We were waiting on the roll cage versus putting all the down bars back in and everything. But as you can see, looks absolutely fantastic back here. So the whole back of the car is completely done now. So now we'll jump to the quarter windows and get this trim off. So guys, what we need to do on this trim to get it off is it's usually just double-sided taped on there. Just gonna have to take it easy and pry it up, and it's brittle, so I started pulling the end and it started cracking. You don't want to mar the paint or anything, so take it slow, work your way on the inside here, and as you can hear, it keeps cracking, but it's double-sided taped on there, and as you can see, it's just exploding on me. But we'll come in here. God, you can smell the old glue, and we'll get this popped up and get this out of here. So we put our Goo Gun on and we're letting it soak in. Letting it run down the car. Why we do that and let this soak in, we'll jump to the other side, do the other side the same way we did this side. Also, if you noticed, I took off the shadow line trim as well. Going to repaint that as well, so I'll show you that. Literally just a light sand and then repaint, put it back on. But for right now, let's jump to the other side and do the same thing on that side that we did here. And by the time we get done with that, this should be all set up and we can just pull this tape off. So guys, why we let that Goo Gun soak on all that double-sided tape that was on the window trim, we are going to address our shadow trim. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit it, a little bit of sanding, knock down any of the rough high spots and everything, and just prime and paint it. Make it look brand new. We got a little bend right there on this one. I'll try to bend that back out so it's less noticeable. But let's just hit this with a little bit of sandpaper, and I think this has like a, I believe the original is a plastic coating on this. But we'll sand it all smooth and go from there. So guys, I don't know if you can tell, but we've taken these down completely to bare metal. This was not an easy task to do, but it's done. Everything's smooth. Everything's ready to go. So what we're going to do is going to hit it with a little bit of self-etching primer and then some black paint to finish them all off. So just going to jump to that and get these done real quick. Nothing crazy, just like everything else we've ever painted. Primer, paint, and good to go. So I'm doing this, as always, the getaway in the yard. So I have them laid out. They're all clean, they're all wiped down. Have some Duplicolor self-etching primer. Gonna give this a light coat first so it can tack up, and come back with a heavier coat of this that will then give us a good base. The self-etching primer will nicely eat into the metal and kind of keep everything stuck on the pieces, so that we don't have any peeling paint from here on out. So we'll get this coated, let this dry, and then hit it with some black here. So guys, now that we got 2 coats of primer on here, before it gets started, we'll hit it with the black. I'm using a black engine enamel since it's a high temp and a good thick coating. This will work well for these pieces since they are up and in the sun and they get beat on a lot. So this will work for these very well. Spray our second coat, and the way it coated, it looks like it's going to coat pretty thick, so this will probably be our last coat, and then we'll let this dry overnight before guys, as you can see, we have this all cleaned up. I'm going to wipe it down again and really get it cleaned up. There's a few little spots there, but we are good to go to get the bottom window trim piece on. Guys, as you can see, here's the new window trim piece. It fits perfectly right there. We'll lift up this and slide this under, but that's how it fits right there and looks just absolutely fantastic. It makes the whole car look new. But we're going to clean this up a little bit real quick under here, and then we will attach these. So guys, we have most of the, well, almost all of the adhesive gone from this area. But one thing I'm going to do before I finish up here is I'm going to hit it with a little bit of polish to get this area right here perfectly clean, perfectly polished. So when we put the new rubber piece in, it will sit nice and flush, and that there will be no oxidation or anything from where the old one was. So just gonna make it look all super nice. Time to install our little strip here. So as you can see, the strip fits right here, even with the door in the front. And it's double-sided tape, as you can see on the back. So what you'll do is you'll pull off this little white strip on the back, and it gets everything going. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this, pull this over the side, and as I place it on here, we'll pull this out and allow you to see where everything goes. So we're going to place this in there, push this in, make sure that's all lined up right there, push it in tight, push it in tight, make sure it gets under all this weather stripping here. And as long as it's in there, I'll pull this weather stripping up a little bit, make sure it's all pressed in there tight. So, as long as it's there, it's lined up there, we can push down and we can pull this out slowly. So as we do, we're going to give pressure on this here as we pull out to make sure that the weather stripping stays where it needs to be, up against the window there. As we pull out, we push down, pull out, push down, and work our way all the way to the front. And once we get to the end, pull the last bits off, boom, 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 and there you go. And that is on. We'll work the weather stripping, get it back in its little area, push it down, work its way all the way to the front, make sure it seats in there correctly. Might have to give it some persuasion to get down flat. You know, all this stuff has dirt and trash and everything in it, so yeah, just make sure it gets pushed all the way down, and you'll see it. It sits flush all the way. You don't want your windows leaking. So we have it all pushed down. Looks beautiful. Looks brand spanking new back here. We will put on the shadow trim when it's done drying, but everything's starting to look good. We'll put that on tomorrow, and we'll put the window in. But let's jump to the other side, do the exact same thing we did over here. So this will be down and on, and we will be ready for our shadow trim next. So guys, as you can see, that laid down beautifully. You see we have our rib nuts for our quarter window. I will be adding another one in here. So there's 4. There's 3 right now. Add another one in, evenly spaced, so it's 4. and we can get the quarter window in. That's next on our list, so let's go get the quarter windows. Well guys, she's officially legal. License plates, registered, inspected, insurance, the whole bit. Time to drive her on the street. Gonna run her out to work today and see how she does. Super excited to get her out on the road today. It's gonna be fun to actually be able to drive her more than just autocross. So it's gonna be a fun day. So guys, as you can see, we have our quarter window here. It is all painted and ready to go. Actually, I think I have the wrong side. This is the other side. But we are going to finish drilling these holes, drill them out real quick so that we can put our screws through, and then we can attach the quarter windows back here. You guys a little bit closer so you guys can see. We have our nutserts into the A-pillar. Just use a nutcert gun to do that, and this is just for test fitting right now. We're leaving all the plastic on. Just want to make sure everything lines up. So we'll get this started by hand real quick, and all lined up, and make sure everything is where it should be. Which we checked everything, and it all lined up before, so it's just a matter of getting it all lined up again. Well guys, I'm going to end this video here for tonight. We got the windows in, polycarbonate windows in the M3. Rear seat delete is done. We need to put the NACA ducts in. I'll do that next video. But red one's almost done. So, gonna be gone for July 4th break, but we'll be back. When we do, we'll do the NACA ducts, we'll run the hoses, and, oh yeah, front lip. We'll attack the front lip on the M3. We got a carbon fiber ACS lip. So we'll be adjusting the splitter and doing that next video. So, thanks guys for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, do whatever. Have a happy 4th, and I'll see you guys next week.